We're back. We're basically back. Michael Carrick's going to deliver the 21st title. Just forget that. Let me show you. 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 Get in. Hurry up. Get in. This is where we're trying to get back to. Sir Alex Ferguson, bang, Erik ten Hag, completely revamped us. Ralph Rangnick, bro, open heart surgery. Now there's Amadinho. Now there's Ballandorgu. Now we've got Matthias de Ligt. We've got Brian and Brumo. What I always mean, we've got Semi Lamans.
Maybe not everyone should be allowed to have access to unlimited data for £16 a month.
Rocket Perks gives DR Sports fans exclusive monthly Q&As and reward drops just for Rocket customers. Switch now.
We're back. We're basically back. Michael Carrick's going to deliver the 21st title. Just forget that. Let me show you. 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 Get in. Hurry up. Get in. This is where we're trying to get back to. Sir Alex Ferguson, bang, Erik ten Hag, completely revamped us. Ralph, we got Brian and Brumo. What I always mean, got Semi Lamans.
Maybe not everyone should be allowed to have access to unlimited data for £16 a month.
Rocket Perks gives DR Sports fans exclusive monthly Q&As and reward drops just for Rocket customers. Switch now.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to DR Sports, and welcome back. Well, I said welcome back. Welcome to a slightly interesting, different setup. So today, DR Sports upstairs. The studio itself is occupied at the moment. I mean, you might find out why in the future. But so today, we're borrowing AFTV studio. But we're still here, live at 5 till 6 p.m. every single day. And as it's the Monday panel, we got our usual guests on. We got Laurie and FJ, both in the building, both on the same sofa. How are the two of you today? Have we got to put up like a little glass screen or something to stop you two from...
I want them to know, I still got this here. Just to know that we're still the, until they mess up.
Before we was just discussing when is the handover time?
When is the handover time?
When is the handover time? The live at 5 on the Monday after the final day of the season should be a very interesting one, because I need you have to be here. I will come and drive to find you wherever you are in London to make sure that you are here for the handover.
Can they win the league before?
Yeah.
In theory they can. If Man City lose their next two games, Arsenal could win the league this coming weekend. That's on the assumption of Man City, because obviously they've got the game in hand against Palace, and then they've also got, I can't remember who else they're playing. But either way, if Man City lose both their games in hand, Arsenal can then go 5 clear with 1 game to go.
But now hang on, don't Man City play the FA Cup final this week?
Yeah, they play the FA Cup final this week. So,
we
but I mean in the way of you could win the league
on Tuesday
through Man City losing.
We could win the league on. So if we beat Burnley, and then Man City, I think they play Bournemouth the following night. If they lose to Bournemouth, I think that's mathematically it, isn't it? No,
because they've also got the Crystal Palace game. So they've got the Crystal Palace game on Wednesday today. If they lose that and the Bournemouth game. Okay. Remember, you've only got 2 games left, they've still got 3. You're 5 points clear, but they have a game in hand. So if they lose to Palace, that means the Burnley game might be the one that will help you clinch it if they then also lose.
But I think we can all agree it's more like when rather than if. Yeah,
but it felt like yesterday was what a moment that was. As Gary Neville said on commentary, I don't know if you'd have heard.
I heard the comments.
Yeah, he said that is the biggest call, VAR call, like that moment, regardless of what the decision was, it's the biggest call in VAR's entire history. Would you agree? We'll get into what you feel about it.
You know what? I've got a lot of time for Gary Neville. Sometimes that doesn't go down well with many Arsenal friends, but he's absolutely spot on. It was that big. And I'm also glad to say, and you guys will know this because we've argued about it in the past, I'm an advocate for VAR. Yes, I am. I'm not just saying it now, you can go check the records. I'm an advocate of VAR, and yesterday, VAR done its job. It's called Video Assistant Referee, and it assisted the referee in coming to the correct decision. And yes, I'm in favour of VAR, and yesterday vindicated why we have VAR in football.
So the things that's been coming through today, the interesting news is that West Ham have made an official complaint to PGMOL over the VAR drama. So actually they haven't done it yet, but West Ham, let me just get it back up, not got my laptop. So West Ham are set to complained to PGMOL after their equalising goal was disallowed following VAR review. Standard Sports, where the information has come from, understands that West Ham will contact the refereeing body to raise concerns after Callum Wilson saw his stoppage time effort controversially ruled out. Obviously, 95th minute. Referee Chris Kavanagh eventually ruled out the goal for a foul on Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya. Having sent over to the pitchside monitor, the VAR monitor, Kavanagh ruled that West Ham forward Pablo had his arm across Raya, restricting him from getting the corner. But the overall thing is that West Ham want to hear the audio and things about what was actually said going on in those moments, because there's been so much break. This is the thing about VAR replays, everything, and all the billion different camera angles that we now have for all these things, is you can break it down for moment by moment by moment by moment. And what seems to be talking about is obviously the corner comes in, you look at David Raya, and then you look at the arm that's across him that's stopping him from going to his full height to catch the ball. Obviously, he does get two hands to it, but it kind of like slips away from him because he's not at his full height.
Well, he was being impeded.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that he would have caught the ball, but the idea being that he should have at least had the chance to catch the ball. And then you look at it, and then also I think there's a shirt pull at something or something as well. And then you look at further replays, and actually Pablo is being like dragged into David Raya by Trossard. So it's almost like Trossard's dragging Pablo, who then fouls Raya, because I do think it's a foul, but then there's another shirt pull, everything. And I think it's mad. And I think, although I think it is a foul, I see it as a fairly soft foul in the way that I've seen so much more be given on my own team, on your team. Like the first game of the season, I know it's been going on online, is Arsenal scored at Old Trafford because Bayindir was being basically wrestled. He was being pushed away. So he was trying to grab the ball and he was being pushed away, so he couldn't put the ball away, and then Calafiori then scored. So although I'm not going to say it's a foul, I'm not going to sit here and go, West Ham have been robbed, blah, blah, blah. I think it is a foul.
Of course it's a foul.
We have seen so many more things like that where the overall answer is just part of the game, isn't it?
See, this is where I've got to take umbrage before. You were doing a riot up until then.
Before I disappointed you.
No, because you said it was a foul, then you said it's a soft foul, then you're moving on to Trossard. But listen, I want to ask every football fan out there, right, one question. Take away your biases, whether they are other teams, Arsenal, whatever. If you look at that in isolation, you cannot tell me that was not a foul, right? Come on now, you see it. That was a foul, all ends up. The arm across the neck, the drag, even the opposing keeper, the way he attacked the ball just by... Listen, there were so many things going on there, but we can all agree that it was a foul. Now, listen...
You're saying that with like hurt under your eyes.
No, because he knows.
You didn't even look at him when you said that.
And this is a conversation I've been having since yesterday with people.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone looking at that, and if they're being honest, they're in there being fair-minded. Take your biasness and everything else out of the picture. Just look at that incident. You cannot tell me that was not a foul. Now, what people then go on to say is, yeah, but Arsenal have scored goals like this. Now, I don't think so. But hey, let's say they did. Right?
I know you.
I know.
Okay, right.
I know.
You know what?
I've seen so many.
Okay, fine. So you quoted the Bayindir incident. Let's say that is the case.
I remember calling for it to be a foul,
Right,
but then it was basically sorry to interject here, but the thing is, what I see with it is, I remember growing up as a kid, effectively, don't touch the goalkeeper, otherwise it's going to get given as a foul. But in the last season or so, especially this season, it's become more of a goal. There's always going to be rough and tumble in the box, and I've kind of accepted that and gone like fair, because it was just how the game evolves and stuff. But I just find it so. It's more of just like a story, like of course of all the decisions, it's that decision, and it's Arsenal, and it's just kind of very, like, not I don't want to use the word scripted, but it's like, of course, of all the moments for that to happen, for that decision to be given, it has to be in that moment.
Okay, right. So my point is, and I'm allowing you the buy-in there, I'm going to say, okay, you know what? I defer to you. You were right. So are we then saying, by extension, that we're going to referee games retrospectively? Are we expecting the referee to say, you know what? I know it's a foul. VAR have shown me that it's a foul. But you know what? I'm going to stick with my decision, because you know what? Arsenal got a goal on the opening day of the season. I mean, really? Come on,
I only point to that moment because it's one at the forefront of my mind.
I know the point you're trying to make, but I'm saying you cannot referee games by retrospective actions. You cannot look at an incident and then say, you know what, I'm going to give it or I'm not going to give it because this happened, that. You just can't do that. That is impossible. So you then have to go back to the incident on the pitch And like I said, it was a foul. The referee was assisted by VAR, which is VAR's job, and the decision was right. And as to those people who are saying, and listen, I can't kind of understand that. He looked at it X amount of times, so it's, how can it be clear and obvious? I would say this. You said it yourself, Dylan. That was such an important decision that I think the referee had to be sure in his own mind, and I think that that's why he took that amount of time.
But if they're sure, it wouldn't take over 17 replays. It wouldn't take over 5 minutes to look over the whole situation and what happened to the keeper and who fouled who. If it was clear and obvious, it wouldn't take 17 times.
Okay, but that's something you're going to have to ask the referee. Because
so if it's taking you over 5 minutes and it's taking you over, I think they said 17 times, if it's taking you over that amount of times, then surely it's not.
No, but you just said yourself it was a foul. You said that.
Me?
You're on camera.
No, I know.
You said it was a foul.
No, honestly.
Because I think it is a foul.
Yeah,
But
so what we doing?
But there's so many things that happened before what happened before. They're even talking about Declan Rice hugging someone before.
Yeah, but we all know, Dylan, we all know it, FJ, that in every single football match in the Premier League, as soon as a corner or set piece like that,
everyone's
players
fighting each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a wider issue there that needs to be tackled, right? But again, you cannot do these things retrospectively. You have to judge the play on its merits as you see it. And that's what happened. The goal was disallowed quite rightly.
Honestly, I actually think it's a foul. I don't think you can put your hands that high.
I appreciate your honesty.
I'm being so honest. I'm being so real. I actually think that I'm not biased.
Breaking news.
I'm neutral. I'm not biased. I'm not biased. Well, I actually think it's a foul. You can't touch the keeper.
Because I had a few people message
like
me yesterday. One of them, you know, Drifty. Shout out my boy Drifty. Me and him were going back and forth. He goes, yeah, it was a foul, Laurie, but you know that Arsenal have been doing similar all season. I goes, yeah, but even if we was, it's still a foul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've answered your own question. It's still a foul, which means the referee is perfectly within his rights, as he did, to disallow the goal because there was the goalkeeper was clearly impeded. Clearly, you can see it. So, hey, it is what it is.
It was a foul. But
it went in our favour, you know. But then we've had incidents that didn't go in our favour. A couple of weeks ago, Atletico Madrid, I thought that was a stonewall penalty.
On Eze.
Yeah, we didn't get it. We had to hold that one. West Ham, I know you feel hard done by. That's football, bro. It is what it is.
I think the only thing, and I think it points towards a wider point about football, that when you talk about FJ, because I find it so interesting, is the time. There's always that is, I think, a really big gripe that so many people have with VAR. Mm-hmm. It's like, cool, it was the 37th minute, whatever, when this foul was made. Now it's minute 40. I'm not talking about us specifically. In general, it's like, it's now 41 minutes, it's 42 minutes. Then we're going to have to add the extra time on. Almost always, not all the time is added on, but if it's a 5-minute VAR decision, they tend to add on like 2 minutes extra time. Because I've been saying for a while, I think there should be a time limit. Mm-hmm. I think there should be a time limit, and I really wouldn't mind seeing, maybe not in the Premier League yet, but the idea of cashing in VAR, because you know how it works in cricket, where you can ask for something to be reviewed, and if you get it successfully overturned, you keep it. Yeah. But if you're wrong, you then lose it. If that can be, I don't know if it's the captain or the manager who can call that in. That's an idea, but with the time limit thing, I think that could be so useful for VAR and for the fans to keep the game speeding, because it's the game. VAR, it stops the game so much. I think
you do make a good point there using the cricket analogy and also tennis as well.
Tennis is another one.
Right. But my thing is, would you rather the referee and VAR deliberate over a decision, it take a couple of extra minutes and get the decision right, or being rushed into a situation where they may get the wrong decision?
But both of them go signed against each other, because if you're, at the end of the day, if you're taking 5 minutes, all we want is the right decision, right?
Did you get the right decision?
But if you're taking 5
minutes... Did you get the right decision?
You got the
right decision.
No, but that's the problem. If you're taking 5 minutes, then there's something wrong of the thought process of your thinking, is a foul or not.
I think it's because they introduced the term clear and obvious.
If it's clear and obvious, it shouldn't take 5 minutes.
Okay, fine.
If it's clear and obvious that we all saw that Pablo put his arm right across his whole body.
Guy's neck.
Yeah, literally. We saw that straight away. But it's taking them 5 minutes to come up with a decision. There's something that other people are thinking about.
I hear what you're saying, because to be fair, I made a similar point when we didn't get the penalty. I criticised the ref and said, look, clear and obvious, but you looked at it for 13 times, I think it was. This one was even more. But I honestly think, looking at the expression on the referee's face and given the situation, given what it meant to both teams, to me, it was like the referee was thinking, I need to be absolutely certain. He may have even been looking at other infractions going on, thinking, is that enough to... Because some people have said that there was so much stuff going on before.
So much.
I
will
then the referee could have been within his rights.
4 seconds
Literally.
Yeah,
so
some people have made that
happened.
point, that there was so much going on before then that the referee might have been within its rights to overrule the VAR and say, well, actually, there was so much going on, it's not conclusive enough for me to overrule my decision. But come on now, anybody that knows anything about football, if you look at that incident in isolation, I defy you to look at me in the eye and say that was not a foul. And argument done after that.
No, fair enough. And, okay, penalty aside, or maybe kind of encompassing it in how you felt, how do you feel about that win? Because I remember thinking, Arsenal had this, but...
That's like asking a man who won the lottery, how does he feel?
All right, sweet, we can move on. FJ, Liverpool versus Sheffield.
They are so lucky.
What do you mean lucky?
Arsenal are so lucky. I don't want to become a hater now, you're a hater.
We were the better team on the day.
So lucky.
Nah, man.
Thank you, Dylan,
I think West Ham put up a very
They
good
did.
fight.
They had the best chance.
Yeah, Mateus Fernandes,
They
I
had the
love
best
you, and
chance.
please come Old Trafford, but that he should have buried.
He had
that.
the best
should have buried
chance.
I say this from the perspective, by the way, of I'd rather Arsenal win the league over Man City. I have to clarify this all the time.
You still
Because
do, yeah?
everyone assumes I hate Arsenal. I want them to win the league over Man City, but when I say the same time, I say objectively, Arsenal had David Raya. I've been say like 6 weeks ago. I was like, that's the player of the season.
I'm going to have to pop your collar again. So
Right, I'll do it.
so you and FJ are telling me that Arsenal are lucky because we've got the best goalkeeper in the league.
I never
With
used the word
Fernandes, was it Fernandes?
Mateus Fernandes.
He's through on goal.
Mate, time stood still in that moment.
And
Took an extra touch.
He took extra touch, which that's down to him. That's not luck. He decided he's going to take extra
Try
touch.
to give him the eyes.
He tried to give him the eyes. He tried to place the ball. Our keeper at the exact right moment spreads himself. How is that luck? That is absolute brilliance by
Great
the keeper.
keeping.
So how
great
can that be
keeping,
luck?
Great keeping.
If it had been a situation whereby it had hit the post or it had rolled along the line, Dylan, and didn't cross the line fully, then I could say we got lucky.
Do you think you're lucky to win yesterday?
No, look at the stats of the game.
Come
bro.
on.
Honestly,
Was he lucky to win yesterday?
if Arsenal, me
How do
asking
you
him
define
what
luck?
change his answer.
Because
Did you look at the stats of the game?
I watched the game. I don't need to look at stats.
You tell me
I actually
how
watched
we
the
were
game.
lucky.
I watched the game and there was not a lot of what kind of chance? There's not a lot of chances that.
Yeah, so how can we be lucky then?
Because you guys didn't go for it and you guys didn't go for the 3 points.
Yeah, but we had more shots on goal and more shots on target than them.
Okay,
So how
cool.
can you say we
I
never went
watched
for
it. You watched it. Name the chances you had.
We had chances to win that
There was-
game.
You didn't.
You are right, actually.
Eze, nothing. Odegaard came on, wonderful. He came on, impacted.
And what happened?
Yeah.
Okay,
I give
So what we're saying is
props
they
to
had their
Odegaard.
chances.
They had their
missed
chance.
theirs.
They had their chance.
We had our chance.
Yes.
And we scored ours. How does that make that
But
luck?
my question
Dylan?
was, do you think you're lucky to take the 3 points?
No.
Oh, Laurie, come on.
What?
You know,
You-
I'm being biased as well today. You know, I'm going to be biased as well today.
No, but Dylan, no, but when
You're
you're
so
talking
lucky.
about luck, what are we
Sorry, it took
talking
you
about?
less than 20 minutes.
Yeah,
to
because
flip
he's
that
doing it.
back.
I try to be neutral. but
No, but FJ, seriously, on a serious note,
83
bro,
minutes.
If the man is through on goal and doesn't take his opportunity, it's a great save by the keeper. We get an opportunity at the other end, which we take. How is that luck?
Because
our striker in that same situation has done his job, whereas the other guy didn't. And one of the reasons he didn't was because our keeper made a great... There was nothing luck about that save. It was a great piece of skill.
But other than that, what other threat did Arsenal impose? Like, what other threat did they have?
We hit the post twice. Trossard hit the post twice. That was the difference between us being 2-0 up.
Okay, I remember that silence is mad. Wait, he's just talking about 2-0 up. He's talking about 2-0
No,
up.
I'm saying we hit the post twice.
Oh, way before that?
Yeah.
Anyway, I actually think that everyone's talking about Arteta, talking about how he's like...
See, this is what people do.
Wait. Everyone's talking about Arteta,
Right.
criticising Arteta, what the philosophy or whatever, or the boring football or whatever. But yesterday, there was actually a big tactical change that he done. And I don't know if people gave him credit. I don't know if people like pulled their hands. Like there was an injury.
Ben
Cool.
White.
They put Declan Rice right back, and straight away you can see that the the big difference with Declan Rice
our
in the
flow
middle.
was disrupted.
The big difference with Declan Rice in the middle and Declan Rice right back. So Zubimendi came on. He brought on Zubimendi. At halftime, he took off Zubimendi and he made some important substitutions. Put Declan Rice back in the middle, and the whole, even though Mosquera never play right back again. Mosquera never play right back again.
What do you
But we brought him on. We got some of it killed him. But anyway, Arteta
Killed him so much that we won 1-0.
Arteta always talk bad about Arteta, but yesterday he made like big tactical changes. So I think he should take some plaudits for that. I'm not an Arsenal hater,
Okay.
even though I don't want you guys to win the league. But yesterday was like very big.
What I would say about that, and it's a good point you raised, right? So Ben White got injured, unfortunately. He makes a substitution. We was in the studio, we were thinking, like for like, Mosquera. Because there's an argument to say that Mosquera's been better at right back than Ben White this season anyway. So you can imagine our surprise when he puts Declan Rice, who's one of our most effective players.
It was really weird.
Exactly. So you think you want him high up the pitch, involved in the game. You stuck him out on the right.
Well,
Straight away, we called it in the studio. We said that
was
wrong.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair to Arteta, he didn't allow his ego to get the better of him. He realised he made the mistake. He changed it at half time, and I do feel a bit sorry for him. He subbed the sub later on, who wasn't having a particularly good game. And then I also got to give him credit because when he brought the subs on later in the game, it did change it at a time when we needed it. Odegaard came on, did very well, got the assist.
Havertz was a good.
Havertz was a good foil.
Yeah.
So we give him credit for that. He did get it wrong, but then he acknowledged it, put it right, made some other substitutions. We got the win. I'm just not buying this. We were lucky. We're not. If you look at the stats, we were not lucky. We had more shots on goal, more possession. But anyway, possession and all that doesn't necessarily dictate. If it comes down to chances, West Ham had their chances. We had ours. The difference was we took one of our chances. West Ham weren't able to do theirs. And that was not through luck. Like I said, it wasn't like the ball was rolling on the line and it never crossed it. It wasn't like we had some major drama and the ball. No. Trossard took his chance. Fernandes didn't take his. That was probably what did it. That is not luck for FJ. That is one man taking his chance.
Odegaard's moment of brilliance. Other than that, Arsenal had no threat.
So where was West Ham's moment of brilliance?
And that's the problem.
So how is that luck?
And it's not luck, but
right.
To go down.
They can't be taking 3 points that late in a crazy phenomenal game. Like that.
You know when Trossard picked up the ball on the edge of the box, FJ and Dylan? Did he mean to score?
He wanted to score.
Right. So how is that luck?
But you know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Because a minute ago you said it was luck. Now,
it was luck.
A few seconds ago you said it weren't luck.
It was lucky. Like that, Arsenal taking 3 points was lucky. 100% lucky. You guys can't be scoring that late in the game.
Have you not scored late in the game? So when Szoboszlai scored with that free kick against Arsenal, did you say that?
To be fair, because as well, previously, as a Liverpool fan, you should know more than anyone that titles are decided on moments. You having come so close to Man City, was it 98, 97 points, being so close to Man City, and in decisive moments, even you as Laurie as well, when, Man City 2-0 down against Aston Villa on the final day, but then they come back and they manage to win 3-2. Titles are decided on moments, and the moment of David Raya being able to get to that, get to Fernandes' shot, read his eyes, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's how you win a league title. So although I don't think it was lucky, I was super surprised that the game was as 50-50 as it could be.
And so far along.
I thought. Huh?
No, but to be fair,
into the game.
Either way, Arsenal got the job done.
No, but to be fair,
an Arsenal
on that
fan,
as well,
I wouldn't care less how we get the 3 points now.
But to be fair, I expected a tough game. I said when we did the watch along for AFTV yesterday, I said to all the guys before, and I thought we would win 2-0. I thought our extra class would tell on the day, but I was expecting it to be a hard game. We're away at West Ham. They're fighting for their lives. They've actually got a decent record at home. I think prior to Arsenal beating them yesterday, they hadn't lost a home game since January. They drew with City. So these are not scrubs, you know what I mean? And they you know what I mean? They were fighting hard.
It's a
Nuno
really
had them
good
set
side,
up
by the way,
tactically very well.
Like, thinking about looking at starting 11 and some of the players they have, for that team to be going down, because I actually think Spurs are... Look, we're going to get on to Spurs in a minute, because obviously they're playing Leeds tonight. If Spurs were to win tonight, I think it's... Or even maybe draw, they'd be like 3-4 points clear of West Ham with a couple games to go. But that side think of some of the players in that team. Obviously, their left back, Juve. They've got Mateus Fernandes, who's being linked to all the big clubs. Jared Bowen, who's fantastic. They've got some really good players. Somerville's great. They've got some very, very good players in that team. And it's kind of mad that they're going down.
And I just want to address one final thing before we move on as well.
Yeah.
Earlier on in the season, at Anfield, Arsenal were the better team against Liverpool. I think that's fair to say. They get a last-minute set piece. So Bosley steps up. Brilliant goal. Did you hear me say that was luck? I never once said that. In fact, when other Arsenal fans were saying it was lucky, I got into arguments with them. I said, you cannot tell me that when Sir Bosley steps up to take that kick, that was luck. That was skill. And the man's proven it in the past that he can score from that range. That was not luck. That was a brilliant piece of skill, well executed, and he beat a goalkeeper like David Raya. That is not luck. So you need to give us the same credit now. Just because we scored a goal late does not mean to say it's luck.
100%. I'm saying that you create your own luck anyway. Yeah. So moment of brilliance, boom, boom. Trossard, great finish. Yeah. Good. 3 points, cool. But it got to a point when we got to 75th minute, Arsenal fans were getting nervous. 80th minute, getting nervous.
Of course, it's only
there was
natural.
nothing. In that sector, there was nothing at all that to make West Ham players scared. It was just that one moment of brilliance of Odegaard, boom, 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 goal.
But that's what wins games, goals.
I'm not disagreeing. That wins games, and it does give you the 3 points. But before that, Arsenal were nothing.
I do get what you're saying, FJ, in the way of so for example, if you compare this Arsenal team to Premier League winners of the past, they're not as good as Premier League winners, like Premier League, or even teams that came second, such as Jurgen Klopp's team. I wouldn't put Arsenal in the category of the best ever Premier League teams that we've seen. For example, like our 08 United team, City Centurions, City's treble winners, some of Klopp's side.
Had to mention that.
Yeah, well, no, because that team that won six titles in 7 years.
But what about our team in 2004 that went invincible? How come you not mention that?
Yeah, I'm talking about this team right now, this current Arsenal team.
Yeah, I know, but you're comparing this team to other teams. What about our
the overall point, Laurie, because the overall point I'm trying to say is that right now you are the best team this league in this season, which is why I think Arsenal, when they do win the league, will be deserved champions. It's not like they've lucked their way to the league title.
Not at all.
They have been the best team over the course of this whole season.
Whatever happened to that phrase, the league doesn't lie?
The league does lie because Arsenal are lucky. Arsenal are lucky to win. You know what? Arsenal are lucky to win this league.
It's not won yet, by the way.
Arsenal are lucky to win this league, but hey, well done. Well done.
With respect, what FJ said is clearly ridiculous, and he knows that. I mean, listen, when Liverpool won the title last season, and I remember when I saw you at the game at Anfield last year, right?
Yeah.
And that game was a draw. And I remember speaking to fans and they were saying, Liverpool won the title with 3 weeks to go. This is the worst league in God how many years. Liverpool won the title. They weren't even that good. That's what people were saying last year, you know?
Yeah.
So this is a refrain that you hear a lot. So I'm not taking it too seriously. Last year, and I congratulated you afterwards, didn't I? When I saw you in Liverpool, we spoke. And I said, big up, you won the game, you won the title. And I said to you, next year's going to be different. And I've been proven right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I did. I remember seeing you. I saw you outside the ground. We were doing fan cams and you walked past and me and you spoke for about 10 minutes. And I said to him, big up, enough respect. You did your thing, but next season it's going to be different. And my man, as he likes to, he laughed at me in my face. I said, all right, now here we are on the verge. So
on the verge.
Yeah.
And listen, when we win it this year, when we win it, I'm sure you're going to come at us hard next season. Man United are going to come at us hard.
Yeah, big up.
Man City will be coming at us hard. So we will have to do all this over again. And it's not easy to retain a title, as you guys have found out, because let's be honest, your title challenge this year has been pretty poor.
This season,
third worst of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, third worst, I said.
Third worst. I think Chelsea.
So it's not easy to
Chelsea
retain the
when
title.
they finished 8th was
you'll
bad.
know next
Obviously,
year.
Leicester
Exactly.
was shocking. But I think after Chelsea and Leicester, I think this one is third. Just like most dismal defences. But regardless, Ronnie Dodge, a big up for the Super Chat, says, happy Bruno Fernandes got FA Writers Association Player of the Year. Rivals cry. Yeah,
Don't
big
get
up
me
Bruno.
started.
And then Christopher ZY says, football can't be reffed into slow-mo, games gone. But
Could I have a right of reply on that?
What, on the Bruno one?
Yeah, because me and you have been going back and forth on this for ages. So what was that guy's name?
Ronnie Dodge. So basically, Bruno Fernandes won the Writers' Player of the Year. So it's the 900 accredited journalists in England all vote for who they think their Player of the Year was. Bruno Fernandes won with 43% of the vote.
Right.
Declan
Okay.
Rice
So
came second.
first thing,
With about 25.
first thing I'm going to say is, listen, congratulations to Bruno. He is a very good player. In fact, he's a great player.
And we're going to move on now.
And second thing, which is fact, is that these things are subjective, right? So it's on people's opinions. And listen, that's cool. What I would say, however, is that I don't understand anyway how Bruno can be given that award when there's still 3 or 4 games to go. Secondly, I find it, and listen, I'll be interested to know what you think on this. You got someone like Declan Rice, who is about to win the Premier League, or David Raya even. Let's throw David Raya in there, right? Back to win the Premier League, final with the Champions League. So you're honestly telling me that Bruno, because he's got 18 assists, he's been player of the year than Raya and Declan Rice, or even, forget Arsenal for 1 second. Let's talk about Erling Haaland. He's going to win the Golden Boot. He's already won the Carabao Cup. Second in the league. I think they're going to miss out. But they could very well win the FA Cup, which means he would have won 3 trophies this season. The Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and it looks to all intents and purposes that he's going to win the Golden Boot for the 3rd time, by the way. You're telling me that Bruno should be given Player of the Year over him? Come on now.
Honestly, I disagree. I think it should be an Arsenal player or Haaland. But I think it should be an
I
Arsenal player
don't think
or
it should be
Haaland.
Haaland. Like, as Bruno aside, I just don't think Haaland's been Man City's best player. And if he's not been Man City's best player, how can he be the league's best player?
But you say you guys...
But you want to give it to Bruno on 18 assists. He's not come near to winning a trophy this season.
The way I see it is...
So how can you say that it's
As I said to you
contributions?
before,
But what is it, individual? Is it individual accolades or is it team accolades?
I just think it's the best person at football this year has been across the season has been Bruno Fernandes.
Because of assists?
Because there is obviously no, just because he's as a football player, being that he's played as number 6, number 8, as a right wing, left wing, number 10. He played a right back.
So
for us for a
Bosley
bit
done that
as well.
as well.
Yeah, but Bosley hasn't been as consistent as Bruno Fernandes. I think Bruno Fernandes has been across the whole 8 months, whatever it is, 8, 9 months across the league season. He's been the most consistent.
What did I see?
Whereas I think
7
other
open field goals.
players have gone like this.
Would I see
massively.
seven outfield assists?
I think it's 10 or 11.
Oh, is it I don't know.
I think it's 7.
I don't know. I saw 7.
Regardless, is because I do think, in terms of giving players awards, Player of the Year and stuff, it's a lot easier always to give attackers awards because they have the numbers to prove it. Whereas kind of like, eye test is how... Because, for example, I would say over the course of the year, Arsenal's Player of the Year is David Raya. David Raya has scored 0 goals and got 0 assists this season. Because he's a goalkeeper.
Yeah, but I said
Virgil
David
van
Raya.
Dijk was a rightful winner
Did
of
I not
PFA.
say David Raya?
He hasn't had a better season than David Raya. He hasn't had a better season than Gabriel. He hasn't had a better season than Declan Rice. If Timber was still fit...
I think Gabriel's been a bit lucky this season in the way that there are far too many instances...
Here we go with that word luck again.
I don't know about
because there have been... Okay, let's say that the red cards that Gabriel hasn't got this season, which we've subsequently seen, said should have been given. Imagine Gabriel
Who
got
subsequently said that? You maybe.
So, no, I'm talking like key match incidents panel. So, for example, it was bona fidely said Gabriel should have a 3-game ban right now.
That record.
And there are other instances this season where Gabriel's not been given, like, not given penalties away or not had handballs given or stuff. I think Gabriel this season, for example, I think Saliba has been better than Gabriel this season. I think Rice has been better than Gabriel this season. And I think for Arsenal, Raya
Anyway,
has
I never said Gabriel. That was my colleague.
No, but because I'm just
what
trying to
I'm
make the
saying
overall
about
point.
what I would say about Gabriel, he's been part of the best centre-back pairing in Europe.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Europe.
Wow.
And that's statistically, that is fact.
No, that is true, FJ.
Why? Because of
But
clean
what?
sheets?
But
Why? Because of
No,
clean sheets?
because every
of
other
the amount
pair
of
of
goals
centre-backs have been
conceded as a
injured or been
partnership.
terrible.
Yeah,
the
so
best partnership
why? Because
in
of clean
Europe.
sheets?
The only two... You know what? No, actually, I agree with Laurie. what centre-back pairing has been better? Actually, name a centre-back pairing that's been better.
I'll tell you
than
that.
But that's what I'm saying. Are we saying they're the best partnership pairing
Yes, that's what I
because
just
of
said.
clean sheets?
No, because of
the way they've played
the
football.
way they play together.
Which is exactly why I rate Bruno
And that
so
is
highly.
backed up by stats.
It's just how he
not
plays
solely
football.
because of stats, but it's backed up by stats. Anyway, I want to come back to something that you said. I never said Gabriel he's been an outstanding player for us. I put forward David Raya and Declan Rice, and I'm also putting forward Haaland. I think all 3 of those guys, and respect to, was it Ronnie, what's his name?
Ronnie Dodge.
Ronnie Dodge. Bro, with respect, I've never met you, I'm just keeping it 100. those three guys I mentioned are by far more deserving of player of the season. And I've said this to Dylan, like Bruno, yes, he's a very good player, excellent player. Played one game a week all season.
One game a week all season.
Right? These guys have been playing at the very top echelons of the game all season. Haaland and Raya and Declan Rice. And they're winning things. With respect, this season Bruno's won nothing. So that means his contributions, even though they have been outstanding for United, they've not meant anything in terms of winning trophies. How can you give him player of the season?
They're giving it to him already. They're giving it to him already.
No, so there's two awards. There's the FAW award, which is the FA Writers Award. Then there's PFA Player of the Season Award, which is voted for by the players and by the PFA and everything. We'll see what happens. I mean, you've seen all the Prem players come out talking about Bruno this season. You had like Matty Cash and Ollie Watkins were basically being like, it's been Bruno hands down. Bruno, I think, is going to get this award because those who are eligible to vote for this award, be all the players and stuff, but a lot of them have been saying Bruno Fernandes. And I think that says a lot. With the Haaland one, I just think, like, for example, you talk about the trophies that he's won. You talk about the players who have actually contributed to those trophies. The one competition that Haaland has contributed in, being the Premier League, they aren't winning. And the trophies that they had, the trophy they did win, Nico O'Reilly, he scored both goals in that thing. Erling Haaland has now gone 15 semi-finals and finals without a single goal involvement. So if you talk about winning the trophies, I don't think Erling Haaland has been the one that's won Man City those trophies. 15 finals and semi-finals and finals, 0 goal involvement. That includes the treble season. That includes everything under Pep Guardiola. Although Erling Haaland, I think, is the best striker we have ever seen in the Premier League, either that or second, and he will end up being the best striker we've ever seen in the Premier League this season, that you can't go 9 games without a goal and go, you know what, that was the best player of the course of the season. Every other player has been like this, whereas I think Bruno has been like this. That's my logic.
He's been like that and he's won diddly squat, but yet he's going to get player of the season.
Yes,
no, I'm sorry.
that's exactly
not when
what's
you've got
gonna
other players that have made.
What if he doesn't break
Not
the
when you've got
records?
other players, right, that have made outstanding contributions that have meant that their teams have won major honours. There's no way. But anyway,
because it's just, I feel like we need to get rid of so
I don't think he likes Bruno. I don't think he likes Bruno or Salah.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't?
So we need to take the PFA award. We need to take the PFA award away from Mo Salah, Bale, Henry. I think there's like about 7 or 8 others.
Did you say Salah?
Yeah, Salah won the award.
No, please, listen, yeah. You can see what Salah's doing.
No, I'm following.
Oh, what
Salah
he
went
says.
trophyless. Salah won zilch when he won Player of the Year. Henry, zilch when he won Player of the Year.
the greatest player ever to play in the Premier League.
And because he was the best player in the league in 2002-03.
But he's not the best player in the league.
No, but he was the best player in the league that season. He was the best player in the league that season.
No, but Bruno's not the best player in the
he's
league.
not.
I think, but I think this is where we differ. And I think, look, we spent so long arguing about this. And there are other things that we need to cover. Also as well, just wanted to say, to all the people who are watching, to all the
It's
people
not clear
who
and
are
obvious,
watching.
that's why.
Huh?
That's why we
so
debated
should we
it, 'cause
VAR and
yeah,
just scrap the
clear and
whole award?
But yeah, listen, shout out to Bruno, man, but you didn't deserve that, bro. That's just my
You mean
thinking.
he's not even, PFA one is not even won yet, but he's won the FA Writers one.
He probably will win it. He probably will.
He will. He will win it, and he will win it with a big majority vote.
We'll see.
All the players.
I don't think that's fair on Arsenal.
I don't think that's fair.
Arsenal players at all.
David Raya.
I think David Raya is the Arsenal player who would challenge him for it because he has been Arsenal's most consistent player. I sing the praises of David Raya all the time. Best goalkeeper in the league this season, probably in the best couple of years, in the last couple of years.
By the way, he's third Golden Glove.
Yeah, no, but David Raya's, and also I think
you
it's
want to talk to
disgrace
me
that he's not
about
Spain's
somebody
number
who's
one, by the
got
way.
18 assists in a team that's won diddly squat, got knocked out of the Carabao
Actually,
Cup
as
by
I say
Grimsby.
that, so just going to say,
By
just
Grimsby.
on David Raya, Tim L. Slim, big up Tim L. Slim, says it would be ignorant for Spain to not have Raya on their World Cup roster and start him for the World Cup. Also, if Arsenal do the double and Spain win the World Cup with him, is Raya possible Ballon d'Or contender? I think if Spain were to do that, I think it would go in Yamal's favour.
I don't think Raya's number one. Spain's number one.
Yeah, which is mad, by the way.
He's not good enough. I told you guys about Raya.
What? Better than Unai Simon?
No, that guy's not good enough. All he says
Unai Simon.
Unai Simon,
I'm talking about
come on.
Daniel Raya.
Unai Simon.
Why is he not good enough?
Unai Simon,
David
I've
Raya.
seen this man
No,
get shipped goals in Europe.
Let him hang himself. How is he not good enough?
In football terms.
Explain.
In football terms.
Explain.
David Raya is a very, very, very good keeper, shot stopper, 100%. Good with his feet, 100%. But I don't just think he's good enough to be.
So what area of his
Spain's number
keeping
one.
are you not convinced about?
Therefore, definitely.
He's so clear from Unai Simon. No, man. We scored 7 past Unai Simon last season.
Mistakes. How many mistakes?
Yeah, but all goalkeepers do that.
Yeah, every keeper does that. But how many do you?
I'll tell you how many mistakes he's
made.
made.
He's made a lot of mistakes this season.
Let me answer that. I'll tell you how he's made that many mistakes that he's won the Golden Glove 3 years in a row.
David Raya.
So if he was making that many mistakes, wouldn't he have had less clean sheets?
There's a reason why he's not number one.
David Raya has one heart-wrenching moment every single game, but most of them don't end up being mistakes.
Why are you having those moments in the game?
Because he's a bit of a madman. Like goalkeeper, we know this. Goalkeepers are all crazy.
No.
They are crazy human beings.
So if I ask you, is he the best keeper in the league? You'll say yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, how?
Who's been better?
Really? Oh, are we talking about this season? I'm talking about in overall.
No, I'm saying in the league this season.
Oh, this season.
Who is the best keeper?
Oh, okay.
The only person that comes close to him is Kelleher.
Who is the best keeper?
I think
if we're talking about form, you can have that. Form goes.
What, 3 years in a row? He's just form.
David Raya can have.
No, but David Raya weren't best last season, for example. That was clearly Alisson. I know Raya got the clean sheets, but Alisson was the best keeper last season.
And Alisson is still the best keeper in the Premier League. Alisson has been the best keeper in the Premier League for the last how many years? But David Raya's got clean sheets and here and there now.
Is that because of the back two then of Gabriel and
maybe
the two
I don't know.
that you just said wasn't?
No, Arsenal's defence.
Saliba and
Arsenal's
Gabriel.
defence. As they say, defence wins.
Titles.
Yeah, so 100% you guys deserve this title. I'm not even going to say that Arsenal this, Arsenal that.
Even though you just said we're lucky.
Very lucky. Very lucky.
On the one hand, you're saying we're lucky. Now you say they deserve it.
Man City slipped
So
up.
what are we doing here?
No.
You're confused.
I just asked you a simple question. David Raya, is he the best keeper in the league? You said yes. How? That is not.
Because he's proven it.
Oh. Why? What? Through clean sheets?
Not just through clean sheets, but performances.
Next.
But anyway,
tomorrow, you guys are going to tell me that Gabriel's better than Virgil. The next day, you guys are going to tell me, in 2 weeks' time, you're going to tell me Arteta is better than Klopp.
Are we?
Yeah.
I heard people say that Arteta won the double before Klopp. He's won the double before Klopp. And look how long it took Klopp to win Champions League.
I don't know about winning the double, man. I'm not sure about that Champions League final.
Okay.
60-40 in PSG's favour is what I'm giving it for that Premier League. That's like Champions League final.
75-25.
What? Arsenal PSG?
I give it 60-40 in PSG's favour. Yeah.
Really? I'll go
They're just so damn good.
51-49.
To who?
PSG.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting. I got another super chat here as well, basically saying, so Ray Matador, when he's...
You laugh.
He's talking about... so Ray Matador says, when it's about consistency, referring to obviously me saying I feel like Bruno's been the most consistent, you have to give it to Rice also in perspective of the amount of games that he's played. Yeah. I just...
That's the point I'm trying to make.
No, but
he's
said
played
it's
one game a
trophy-based.
week and he's not come close to winning a trophy. He was part of the team that got knocked out the Carabao Cup by Grimsby.
You know he wasn't.
Why wasn't he?
As in that he didn't play.
Yeah, but was he in the lineup?
He came on at half time.
Oh.
No, Laurie.
He tried.
Man, did you hear yourself?
I know.
He came on at half time and we scored twice and didn't concede.
Wait, was he part of it?
If Bruno Fernandes had started that game, we'd have gone through.
Yeah, now I know how much you love Bruno.
You know what? Yeah, exactly.
Now I know.
You know what? He would make a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Because he would throw that little
I
thing
cannot
in
be
there.
bothered to do them 80-hour work weeks, you know. No, I think using the Grimsby result to specifically, if you want to talk about other players, in the United team, yes, because obviously
I said to you was
Tyler
facts.
Fredrickson, Aiden Heaven had horrible games
we're not
that
going to
game.
do that, Dylan.
Brian
We're not
Mbeumo
gonna do
wasn't
that.
actually he came off the bench.
What I said to you
wasn't great.
what I said
Šeško
to
had a
you
really
was-
poor game.
Is that he plays one game a week for the whole season.
Yeah.
Facts. And I also
Of
said...
which you've admitted when you spend too long between games is actually a negative thing. You've said that to me before. When we had a 20...
But anyway, I've said to you that playing one game a week is a contributory factor because, you know, he has more recovery time than the likes of Declan Rice and all the other guys. Facts. Second fact is that he was part of a team.
You cannot let this go, can you?
Part of a team that got knocked out of one of our major competitions by Grimsby. Facts.
Yeah, it was
and now
a
you're coming
day.
to say, but he came.
Yeah,
on
man.
But I was right. He was part of the team.
And when Rice was getting done in by Wolves and that.
Yeah, but guess what?
Everyone has a bad game.
Exactly, but guess what? In a week or two's time, Declan Rice is going to be lifting that trophy. What's Bruno lifted? Nothing.
I know.
Apart from his Football
Declan
Writers
Rice will be
Association.
one trophy
Who's had a
closer
better
to Bruno
season?
Fernandes.
Who's had a better season?
Bruno Fernandes.
I want to.
I think. Wait, FJ.
Hey, no, you need to stop. You need to stop this Bruno thing.
I've just got
Stop this
I
Bruno
want to
thing.
ask you.
Kenya, I'm only staying on this because of you.
If Declan Rice
Kenya,
wins the
I'm
league
only
this
staying on
season-
because if this man can sit here and say that with a straight face, a man that's about to win the Premier League in the final of the Champions League, and you're telling me that Bruno's had a better season than Declan Rice? Are you mad?
I was just talking about how good they are as players.
No, but
Obviously,
I said who had the better season.
If I had to pick one,
no, the question
I would
was-
love to win a Prem title. Yeah, of course, obviously. I don't know.
So who's had a better season?
In terms of who's been
Who had a
better
better
this season.
season? It's a very simple question.
Hey, I didn't know you're bad. I
because-
thought I was bad as Salah. You are bad. I thought I was bad as Salah.
Okay, would I rather have Arsenal
Don't
season
try
over
me.
United season?
He asked you a straightforward question.
I'm trying to answer your question, Laurie.
Go on.
As you know, sometimes it takes more than one word to answer a question.
Right, okay, the floor is yours.
Since you tend to
The
ask
floor-
questions
the floor
in
is
5
yours.
I love these
segments.
two.
The floor is yours.
I love them.
The
I
floor-
love them.
I'm going to keep quiet, and I want you to rationalise why you think, that's what you truly think. You think that Bruno's had a better season than Declan Rice. The floor is yours.
So if you want to answer the question in terms of who's going to have, which season would I rather have? Obviously, lifting the Premier League title with Declan Rice, obviously 100%. I've not seen my team lift a Premier League title in 12 years and stuff. But all I've been trying to say from minute 1 to minute 90 of this whole argument we've had for about a month or so is that I think Bruno Fernandes has been a better player, has been the best player in the league. That's it. And if you feel that team trophies have and team performance has such a huge weight on how good an individual player has been, then yes, one of the Arsenal players or Erling Haaland deserves it. Because their teams have been better than Bruno Fernandes' team. But in terms of the singular man on the football pitch and how damn good he is at football, it's Bruno Fernandes. That's how I feel.
You have a point.
That is, by the way, the end. I'm actually not going to say anymore.
No, you have a point. You have a point.
Not according to him.
No, you have a point because individual stats and what he's been doing this
I'm not
season.
even talking about stats.
You want to talk about assists?
No, I'm talking about just how damn good they are at football. The assist is a representation. Like his assists, most recoveries, most created, blah blah blah. That's all a result of how good he is.
Yes.
It shows how good he is, but what I feel is how good he is based on how good I've seen him play this entire season.
So does someone's consistent performance throughout the whole season gets them third? Then someone else's consistent performance throughout the season wins them the league and wins them other major trophy.
Champions League final.
Hopefully not. There's totally a big contrast between
That's
both of them.
why I say that in the PFA thing, if we want to talk about that, it's David Raya who should contest Bruno Fernandes for the PFA award because he has been Arsenal's only genuinely true consistent player. Him and Saliba, actually. The two of them have been Arsenal's two most consistent players this season.
No, Declan Rice? I think...
no, I don't think so.
Bruno top 5.
Declan Rice is...
Bruno top 5, maybe, yes. Bruno top 5 players of the season, yes. First, no.
You know what? I think we should move on.
I tried to move on 20 minutes ago. And
the man buried himself.
I started talking about Leeds.
I will give you credit for this. You are a staunch defender of Bruno Fernandes.
You die on the hill.
I'm a staunch defender of what I believe.
That's what I done. They call me deluded.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. There's a very close correlation between being an avid supporter of someone and being delusional. But anyway, I can't answer that, to be honest. I have no words. To me, it's obvious.
It's obvious. For me, it's obvious as well.
Right, so there you go.
Colin Flores LFC says, I admit Raya is the best goalkeeper in the world. He is Arsenal's best player and has personally saved them 20 plus points. Gabriel second best. Rice overrated AF. And then Ronnie Dodge says, Arsenal fans are like talking to a brick wall, Dylan.
Definitely.
And on that note, another thing I wanted to introduce before we got a bit derailed was that if you want to come watch the Champions League final here and DR Sports Studio, obviously upstairs, obviously we're in the AFTV studio today.
Hey, along.
If you want to watch the Champions League final with us, you better sign up to Rocket Mobile, where we're giving away 3 pairs of tickets to come watch Champions League final in the studio with our panelists. It's £20 a month, unlimited calls, text, data, and 20 gigs to use in select countries in the EU, plus perks, content, and other prizes such as possible match ticket giveaways, coming into the studio, coming on fan cams, a WhatsApp channel just for Rocket Mobile customers, plus also a guaranteed Q&A every single month, which you can see, on the bar. Is this the right? No, it's that. There you go. That side. On that side, loads, all for just £16 a month. But I want to talk a little bit more about this Spurs and Leeds game. The Spurs and Leeds game tonight, because that's the big game tonight, right? That's the big clash tonight. And this could be, I really think, the game that could save Spurs and keep them in the Premier League this season. I want to talk about that game and also at the same time incorporate Rocket Ranked into, obviously, with Rocket Mobile and everything, about what are the 3 big changes you reckon Spurs need to make, assuming they stay in the Premier League, to actually get back to competing. Like I said, not competing for trophies, because they don't really, I hold my hands up, obviously they beat us to a final last season, but they're not going to compete for the league title or anything next season. But what are the changes they need to get back into the top half and, to pretty much fix their club? But we'll start with the Leeds game. Like, because it's obviously, they're playing Leeds.
Leeds are safe now, right?
Leeds are I think mathematically they need to win this game or draw this game to be safe. I'll just double check that as we're talking. But it's such a super interesting game. Spurs are at home, so you'd think, maybe, the crowd gets behind you, blah, blah, blah. But they're terrible at home.
What did you think?
Away table, Spurs are like third.
What did you think Spurs wanted yesterday's results to be?
They wanted us to win, obviously.
Do you think they wanted Arsenal to win?
Yeah.
I reckon it was like
they won't come out and
realistically win, but I actually think it'd be a draw.
No, I think a lot of them wanted us to win badly. But what it is, given the nature of the rivalry, they're not going to come out.
They're not going to say it. They're not going to say it.
But deep down, they would have been almost as chuffed as we was when we won that game, because let's be honest, man, they're in the pole position, aren't they?
Yeah. Sorry, Leeds are safe if they draw tonight, I believe.
We have given them an almighty leg up, because had we have lost yesterday and West Ham won, they would have been in serious trouble. Now,
no, actually, I lied. Sorry, Leeds are absolutely safe.
They're safe,
Just working it out, yeah, sorry. My bad.
So, yeah, they probably won't come out publicly and have the gall to admit it, but we did them a massive favour yesterday, of which they should be...
happy.
Of course, they should be grateful. But I do think Spurs will stay up. With regards to your immediate question regarding what they need to do, I think the appointment of De Zerbi is big. I said as soon as he was appointed that was a very good decision on their part, because I think he'll get them out of their current plight. And I think next season going forward, he's proven himself. He's a very good manager. He can be a bit, how can I put it, contentious and, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. We've heard about him. He can be quite difficult to deal with at times, apparently. But the man knows his stuff. He plays a good brand of football. So taking them forward, I think that would be a good move. Obviously, their recruitment needs to improve, Dylan. Because their recruitment,
players?
Yeah, their recruitment's been woeful.
Their injury list is probably the worst injury list in the whole league.
The last 3 seasons, it's been mad.
But one thing, I haven't heard Tottenham fans complain, that's not their number one argument, injuries, because their injury list is like the whole first team lineup.
No, but if you look at the money they got for Harry Kane, they've essentially wasted it, really, haven't they?
Oh yeah,
the players that they brought in.
Ooh,
100 million quid, and they got. And they,
talking about
so that's sorry to interrupt. That's 2 things. De Zerbi continuing, recruitment has got to get way better. What else? The injuries, they've got to look at that, how they're picking up so many injuries. Although that could be just coincidence and misfortune, I don't know. But those are 3 things that they need to look at.
I reckon the number one thing for Spurs is going to be listen to De Zerbi. Like, I really, really think they had to, if they want to appoint that guy, we know who this guy is. Like, it's like he ended up, when he was like kind of working everything with Brighton, everything centered around him, it was great. And then when Brighton, I think, started to stray away from his ideas a little bit, obviously he threw a fit, it ended badly. Marseille, same thing, but they got knocked out of the Champions League. They didn't even qualify in the top 24. He then threatened to resign. They then managed to keep him, and then he resigned anyway. And then their director, that whole Marseille thing is a mess. But I feel like Marseille, from what I see as a football club, have their own
issues.
Kind of, there's other things where, like, you don't as a technical director or director of football, whatever it is, resign if everything else is swimmingly aside from the manager. I think if Spurs listen to De Zerbi, he's got a very good recipe for them to get them back playing properly, back playing well. And I feel, number 1, listen to him. Number 2, fire your entire medical department.
Wow.
I don't know if they're still there, if it's the same guys as before, but it's just like, season 3 now. Like in Ange's first season, they had a few injuries. Ange's second season, it just went cataclysmically wrong, and it stayed that bad and that like horrid the entire time. So where is Kulusevski?
Yeah, no.
Where is he, bro? A few weeks out, and he's been out for a year. He's not played a minute this season. Like, you just see the number of players that seem to get injured at Spurs. Like, something is going wrong there. And third, I think, is trust in their academy a bit more. If you, like, I think the easiest thing
I
a
told
club
you about
can always
academy
do.
players. I told you about academy.
Yeah, but you
players.
think academy players are,
Yeah, academy
which
players.
I disagree with completely.
Tell me one academy player that is flourishing right now.
Rio.
He's not. Number one, he's not academy.
He's
player.
not actually. He's not
academy
their
player.
academy.
He's not academy player.
Yeah,
so-
but he come through your.
Yeah, we got it from
youth
Chelsea.
system.
He got it from Chelsea. Then you know.
Yeah.
So and right now Rio's actually playing because
Max
we don't
Dowman.
have. What?
Bukayo Saka.
Saka's he's a experienced.
No, but he come through
first
the
team now.
academy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about academy player that's literally in their first or second season now that's flourishing.
Shall I tell you what it is about?
I will slightly change that to like their young
Academy players
group
don't
of
work
core
no more.
players.
Academy players don't
players
work no
plus
more.
play people like Mickey Moore, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall and co. These are players that I think you should lean on a bit. But this is a criticism
They
I
had
had
their
of Ruben
chances.
Amorim.
They had their chances.
Huh?
They had their chances.
They've been good. Archie Gray's been one of their best players this season. Bergvall's been great when he's not been injured.
And if he's-
Mickey Moore has been fantastic in Scotland. Like, they've got these young players
Are they
who
good
are
enough?
doing all right. Huh?
Are they good enough?
I think they're good. That's a good type of player to rely on.
See, the problem
We
is.
want to rely on Mickey van der Ven,
You
Romero,
did
and co.
make a
They're
good
the ones that
point
got you in this mess.
The thing about academy players, and I've even seen this at Arsenal before, is that whilst I believe in the academy system, there's so much pressure on managers to get results that you can see why sometimes they might be a bit cautious about bringing young guys in, because the cut and thrust of the Premier League, where results are so important, sometimes the managers, you can understand why they might be a bit loath to put in some of these young guys that don't. See, the thing about young players is, for the most part anyway, they're very talented, they're very good, but they can be a little inconsistent with form. Even our own Max Dowman, who's been great, if you notice, we've used him very sparingly, if at all, as the run-in has come. You know what I mean? I guarantee you, if we'd have had a more comfortable run-in, you would have seen more of Max Dowman. But managers, and I understand it, these guys are developing. It's not always fair to put a lot of pressure on young guys. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what fans are like, you know what the press is like. As soon as they tail off a little bit, he's done, he's not as good as we thought he was. You have to offer these guys a layer of protection. And when it's such a cutthroat world of the Premier League, it's difficult for managers to put them in and play them.
Not work no more.
I do kind of get that, but I do think young players have more consistent success than people realise. When you look at the last few years, kind of like at the time when clubs have needed to rely on young players a bit. For example, like when you've relied on Rio and he's come up with the magic. Like, was it against Fulham, where he scored and it was a lovely, lovely goal. You started him and he looked great.
Yeah,
he's a young player. You go back into the past, obviously. Like,
you can't rely on him.
But when we desperately needed a midfielder a few seasons ago, and then Kobbie Mainoo came out, and it was like he was fantastic. Same with England. Gareth Southgate took a chance, and he helped England get all the way to the final, got through the knockout stage. He was fantastic. When we needed a winger, like just the United example, Alejandro Garnacho. When you needed a makeshift,
Oh my gosh, he said Garnacho. He said
no,
Garnacho.
a few seasons ago.
Oh my gosh.
And another example, for example, when you needed a makeshift left back, Miles Lewis Skelly was doing Real Madrid up in their own backyard. You need Lewis Skelly again this season. Bang, he's phenomenal.
Hey, I was
He's been
talking bad about
phenomenal in
Lewis
the second
Skelly.
leg.
I was talking bad about Lewis Skelly.
Young players work more than I think people give credit for.
No, but
and
with
Spurs,
respect,
I think it could be
with
very
respect,
good.
Dylan, those are special talents. I mean, look at some. All right, I'll give you an example. Yves Wanyeri came on the scene, blew up the spot, and then you don't really see too much of him. Now he's out at Marseille. That's what I'm saying about consistency. Managers will be sparing in giving those guys opportunities because it's so much pressure on them, so much pressure on the manager. If results are not going your way, sometimes you can understand why they won't want to put a young guy, he's only 17, 18 years old. It's a lot of pressure. They need to be offered that layer of protection. As I said, if we'd have had a less challenging running than we've had, I guarantee you would have seen Max Dowman play more minutes. It's not because he hasn't got the talent or the ability, but he's been protected by Arteta.
Fair enough, yeah. I just think in Spurs' case, like it's not like they're in a title run. I think it's just next season, if they'd put a bit of trust in their younger players and their younger core, I think it could be something that's really good to build on. Because if they're good, they're sustainable. Then they grow as the club grows again in a couple of years' time. They can be back. But An intense show, I'd say. You know, normally Monday is. But apart from that, FJ and Laurie, always a pleasure. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, I hope you guys at home enjoyed as well. Obviously,
As you might
In the air,
expect.
slightly different setup today, but I think it's been fun. Apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what we've talked about. Check out the Rocket Mobile deal. I'll see you soon. Cheers.
We're back. We're basically back. Michael Carrick's going to deliver the 21st title. Just forget that. Let me show you. 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 Get in. Hurry up. Get in. This is where we're trying to get back to. Sir Alex Ferguson, bang. Eric Ten Hag completely revamped us. Ralph Rangnick, bro. Open heart surgery. Now there's Amadinho. Now there's Ballandorgu. Now we've got Matthias De Ligt. We've got Brian and Brumo. What I always mean. We've got Semi Lamans.
Maybe not everyone should be allowed to have access to unlimited data for £16 a month.
Rocket Perks gives DR Sports fans exclusive monthly Q&As and reward drops just for Rocket customers. Switch now.